anymore to hear you be called the disruptor and to be painted as the guy who's taking down the league and trying to pop the bubble before it blows up and all this stuff? Like, does it just not bother you, or do you hear that and like, is it hard for you to not come out like this and be like, nah, this and this happened? Because I know I'm watching it and I'm like, well, these things they say Kyrie's asking, they don't sound too crazy to me. That sounds logical. That sounds valid. And again, I'll just go back to when Woj called you the disruptor. I'm like, what? And it just sticks out to me even all these months later. And then we have a team boycott a game, and we have issues within the bubble, and we have things that are still going on outside in the real world. And it's like, I wonder if Kyrie's vindicated right now. I wonder if Kyrie's looking like, I told y'all, like, you know what I mean? So does that stuff even get to you anymore? I know you hear about it. How could you not? But does it bother you in that way, like you said in that series it might have?
Well, I think I heard something, and it was Maya Angelou. She said that. She said, one person standing on the word of God is the majority. And I'm always going to speak on what's right. And I think that comes at, a price where all of those things that they dress me up as fall off at the wayside, of who I truly am. And I don't think it's fair for me to bring that type of energy home and consider it, meaning people talking about me or people addressing me as, hey, what is he doing? He's not smart enough. There was something that Kendrick said. He was like, yo, if you put his brain in a bird, it's going to fly backwards, and we have, people like that I don't have a problem with at all. That's his opinion, nor do I feel disrespected by anything like that. But what I would say to that is I'm come to a place in my life where I serve myself and I serve others, but also I take the criticism serious from people I respect, and people that are on a similar alignment and wavelength and frequency as I am. I can't take in everybody's burdens and problems and thoughts about me and what I should be doing, what I should not be doing, because I have taken that into consideration. And it also became a very dark place that I was in. And when people speak about these dark places, we fail to accept that you have to go to therapy and you have to go get help, because you almost become a prisoner of your own fame, your own life, your own presence, your own stature. And I always wanted to be the strongest in the room, the person that holds everything together, knows I got everything right, like my shit don't stink, you know what I mean? Like, but I've also learned from a lot of great individuals that sometimes it's great to lead from the back. And I don't need to feel vindicated for saying what's right, what's already been known. Historically, if we break down factual information, we're not talking about opinionated facts. We're talking about factual information of things that have happened in our world, in society, to race, to religion, to our belief system, to media, to propagandizing, racial tension and social injustice. And, there's so many issues that you want to tackle that I want to tackle, and honestly, it's so hard to do it without having a destination. And my destination at this point is not to be the greatest basketball player to ever play the game. Like, what the fuck does that title mean? Like, you know what I mean? For me, it's so small and so small. Like, it's such a small atmosphere of who I am, So sometimes when I'm in this basketball space or entertainment space, and I say entertainment with music, with sports, with media entertainment, there aren't enough smart people out there that are doing this job. You know what I mean? That I actually can say, I go and watch and I go research them. And I'm like, man, I'm actually going to learn something from this article. Most of it has something to do with someone else's opinion about someone else's opinion. And it's a response. It's a reaction. And I'm not a reactionary person, but I can be impulsive with things I say, and I accept that. So I think what I've learned is to take my message and make it a lot more clear. Hey, I stand for my Native, Indigenous, Black men and women, my kings and queens, Hispanic, Latin, all of the seeds of the earth that have been here before, white America or this white, ideology of who we're trying to be and what we should do. Sometimes I feel like I have to hide my gifts to dumb it down to be a basketball player. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I study philosophy. Yeah, I'm a scholar. Yeah, I'm a nerd by trade. Like, I just happen great at basketball because I put in enough time, just as anyone else. I love to be inquisitive about reality. I love to learn about other great minds that have questioned the very reality that we're in. You know, I can't just say I want to be great at this one thing and then not put in the time to do that. So I think I've figured out that kind of recipe of knowing what's truthful to me and knowing what I stand on. And that's protecting like I said, my indigenous kings and queens of this earth. And however that comes, I'm going to speak up on it, you know?
Was it hard for you to not defend yourself in those moments?
Oh, bro.
Perkins calls you whatever.
Honestly, I see it as it makes it cool for the sport, for entertainment. But it doesn't make it cool when it affects people's families and legacy.
Yep.
It's bigger than that. It's bigger. And, you know, like I said, I'm not mad at Kendrick, nor am I mad for anyone else that talks shit about me or talks about, you know, what I should be doing or judges me, whatever. I say that, like, this is my journey and I accept it. I accept who I am, whether you write about me or not. But what I'm going to do is hold people accountable. I don't know if you know enough about me to be speaking on things that pertain to my legacy. I'm not a bad leader. The narrative, what is Kai doing? Why is he an MBPA vice president? Why did he join the union? Why did he do this? Why is this? Why is this? Well, if you had a chance to be in my position, I'm not too sure you would make the same decisions. And that's the reality of all of us. I can't think for everyone. I'm not everyone's leader. You know what I mean? I don't speak for every American. I don't speak for every world traveler. I speak for myself and I speak for the people that come after me. And it becomes hurtful and distasteful when you see these people that we know better that go up on these TV screens and then make a mockery out of a person or their family just to be relevant for that day or to get their point across. You can get your point across without demeaning somebody. You know what I mean? ESPN, TNT, they already use all our likeness and everything we are in order to build up these characters. At least let me speak for myself before you speak for me.
Yo, do you think I had these thoughts before, yo. Do you think the media has come even more toxic with the use of the internet, especially around our sport?
Bro, I told you we're a DM away from everybody. Just
more accessible.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the internet is. You can DM somebody with 89 million followers and you may get a response back. You depending on the day, depending on the time, or you may see somebody that you love as a business entrepreneur and you can go out and invest in that business right away. Just the same way everything is accessible. Everybody's kind of an expert page now. Everybody's a critic of an industry, you know what I mean, of what the big time players in the industry should be doing. And then we have other people in other industries speaking on what other people in other industries should be doing. And then they got the media who stands by on the sideline, who just watches all this shit. And then they report it. They report it how it's supposed to be made for their audience. The audience at this point for our sport expects drama, bro. They expect locker room tension. They expect, you know, teams to break up over time, or they expect Giannis to leave and go somewhere. And now they put this idea in the universe. Now they put pressure on, he unfollowed everybody on the Milwaukee Bucks. So what?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Who cares?
So what, bro? They're really over there like, I can only imagine what this means for the Milwaukee Bucks, and Giannis and the owner should get on the phone with Giannis, and they should definitely try to keep Giannis. Giannis be out of his mind to leave Milwaukee. If you don't leave that young man, that young king alone, and that's what I said, when our own source, our own foundation, our own home becomes diluted with all of these people that I don't respect, their criticism, their stories, it becomes fallacy, a fantasy. It's like something that people run around in. Like they have people in the bubble talking about everything that everyone's doing. That's too much access for me, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, I think the initial seeds of this are when we had first getting 24-hour media, because now we have 24 hours to fill and highlights aren't enough. Now we got to know what you're talking about after the game. Now we got to know where you're going after the game. Now we got to know who you friends with. And then we get, like Kyrie said, we get all this access, and it's now they're picking you. It's happened to you, Kay. It happened to you a week ago. You tweeted something, and we got people on TV talking about a tweet that was nothing, a lyric. I tweet lyrics all the time, and it's generally just, I'm listening to this song. You know what I mean? And it's like me telling people in the know, I'm listening to this song, but somebody's on TV talking about it for 8 minutes saying Is Kevin Durant sending a message to the rest of the league by saying this? And I think it's just there's such a rush to make everything a story. If you like a picture tomorrow of the wrong woman, you're gonna be on 20 blogs and they're gonna wonder what you're doing with that woman. And you just scrolling and liking pictures. And I think that's part of it. And the other part is some of these media people. I tweeted about this a couple weeks ago. Some of these media people want to be the story. They want to be the star. And when you do that and then put yourself ahead of it like that, you're reaching for anything that makes you part of the shit. And so you have people going on TV saying things that they know are going to go viral. They're hoping they're going to go viral. And then when they go viral, they're taking victory laps over it. When I came up, and I'm not even that old, it was like number one rule of J School was no unnamed sources. Like if you getting info and they can't say it on the record, you can't use it. Go get it somebody else to say it. NBA media lives on unnamed sources. They live on that shit. It's crazy to me how the media can kind of like create their own stories and then milk those stories. And then you be judged by that story and have never said a word.
Then they ask you about the next day that they made up.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's funny because you watch it happen. Like the network may have the game on the following week. These two players playing. So then they get the two players and say, what do you think of Kyrie Irving, KD? And KD will give like an honest, oh man, he's nice, he does this. And then they might ask you, Kyrie, what do you think of Kevin Durant? And then there's quietly promoting that game that they're going to broadcast by creating this story of the shit you said. And it's like, yo, does everybody not see what's going on here? Like I'm losing my mind. And I know y'all see it.
That's what I'm saying. Like it turned our game into people that don't even watch it that have a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? Like people are asking me like, so what you gonna do free agency? I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like this is dude on the New York City streets in 2019. Like, what you gonna be doing? It's just, it resonates across all fans now is what I'm saying because of that type of drama aspect. Like, yo, the NBA, man, they bugging, man. You didn't see what so-and-so said about so-and-so, bro. He said he was going to do. I get it. But at the same time, I don't want to play media games, nor do I want to play, like I don't know what the agenda is, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I can't be better with my platform moving forward when those things happen, because I fed into it.
Yeah.
I've been a part of it. I've been used by it and also used it in order to get my point across, to become more accessible and utilize these media sources in order to make sure I clear up some type of quote or clear up over this. So it has a lot to do with the growth of our game because now it's become a global thing. But also back home, you can become almost a prisoner of your own fame just because of it, which I don't like because the internet, they got people posting people's address online or, I saw him here. And you could be doing something common like, yo, I saw a random video of K playing baseball. And the caption was KD out here living his best life. And it's like, not everybody's living like KD. Not everybody, you know what I mean? Not everybody's living. Not everybody has made it to this certain type of level, like to where, this is like, yo, we could be on bye. So putting that out there is like, what are you keeping up with exactly? Somebody being or somebody being somebody. Like, I don't know the difference. Like, is this something that we want to capture us just chilling? Like I could invite the paparazzi or invite people in here and we could just sit down and they'll do an interview here and they'll just raid the spot and they'll stay outside and everywhere I go in the morning time at 6:30 in the morning. Or are we trying to see the human side of people? Are we trying to capture celebrities doing regular shit and them being the pillars that we look up to? Or are we trying to capture normal people doing extraordinary things in their craft and respecting them for that? And then respecting their work ethic off the floor about what they do as a humanitarian. Now, those are things I stand for. Other than that, all that other stuff is just convoluted and a bunch of nonsense.